Hello friends, today we are going to review the topic The Portrait of a Lady written by Khushwant Singh, the prose lesson unit 1 for class 11. But before that, here is a short summary about the author. Khushwant Singh was an Indian author, lawyer, diplomat, journalist and politician. His experience in the 1947 partition of India inspired him to write Train to Pakistan in 1956, which became his most well-known novel. And after that, he started writing many novels and became an accomplished novelist. And he also received awards such as Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan by the Government of India. Quite interestingly, this story, The Portrait of a Lady, seemed to be his autobiography. The Portrait of a Lady, introduction of the lesson. The Portrait of a Lady is the story of the author. He describes his relationship with his grandmother over the years. He pens down her daily activities and how she evolved as a character as time passed by. He explains her appearance, which helps create an image in the reader's mind. The summary of the lesson, The Portrait of a Lady. Khushwant Singh, the writer, draws an interesting portrait of his grandmother. He presents her as a tender, loving and deeply religious old lady. He says that his grandmother was an old woman. She was so old that her face was wrinkled that at the present it was difficult to believe she would ever have been young and pretty. The author says that she was like the winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. His grandpa appeared too old, and it was that he ever had a wife. His parents had gone to live in the city, leaving him behind the village and the care of his grandmother. In the initial days, the author and his grandmother had a good relationship. She used to wake him up and get him ready for school. She used to pack the things required by him for the day and walked him to school every day. She used to visit the temple that was attached to the school. She had a routine of reading the scriptures. The author, along with other children, sat on the veranda singing alphabets and morning prayers. They both used to come back home together with stray dogs roaming around them, as his grandmother would carry the stale chapatis to feed them. Soon, the parents of the author, who went to the city to settle in, called them. As they reached the city, his relationship with his grandmother took a turn. Though they shared the room, their bond grew apart. He started going to an English medium school. She no longer accompanied him to his school. She didn't understand anything, as everything was in another language, which she could not understand. She didn't approve of the new syllabus that he was studying, because she thought that they did not teach him about God and scriptures. They saw less of each other. When he went abroad for further studies, his grandmother went up to the railway station, but she was not emotional. After 5 years, he came back and she was at the station to receive him. When she embraced him, he could hear her reciting prayers. That evening, a change came over her. She did not pray. She collected some old ladies from the neighborhood and was playing a drum for a long time without minding their words to stop that. Next day, she fell ill. The doctor said that it was not serious. but she said that her end was near. She stopped talking to her people. She lay peacefully in bed praying with her beads. In a short time she died. When her body was lifted for cremation, thousands of sparrows spread all over the place. When the author's mother threw some breadcrumbs, they refused to eat. When her body was carried out of the house, all the sparrows flew away quietly, mourning for her.
Dear friends, here are some paragraph questions from this lesson. You can keep these as your model to write your own paragraph questions for this lesson. Thank you. God bless you.